Good afternoon, everybody. It's approaching 12 noon. I'm a couple of minutes late and huffing and puffing a little bit, but I'm here, I'm ready. We'll just wait for some people to start coming in to join me on this 12 noon movement snack, and then we'll get stuck in. Today is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday, the 30th of March, 2022. And of course, you might recognise me, some of you. I'm Kelsey. Welcome to the Movement Snack if you're here on a catch-up. Let us know that you've caught up. Maybe drop us a small message just in the chat box. We'll be glad to hear from you all. Right, here's some lives just coming in. They've probably been looking for me. And here I am. I've been found on this hide and seek that is Facebook sometimes. Afternoon, Gillian. Afternoon, George. Oh, although you always say good morning, don't you? It must be about 1 minute to George. You're cutting it fine for a good morning. But either or. Carol Elliott's here. Hello. Hello to you. Hello to all. Good to have you here, as usual. We're going to just perhaps just overshoot 12 noon slightly, just to allow a few people to join. I was a couple of minutes late, people. Apologies if you've been looking for me. Red Rita's arrived. Looks like we've got 9 on the counter. 9 people, all good and ready to go. Caroline's just arrived. Hello to Darlington, just down the road from where I am in Gateshead. I'm at Gateshead Leisure Centre today, delivering day 1. And that's the right accent as well, isn't it? Day 1 of the Otago exercise programme. That wasn't very good really though, was it? Mrs. Perry, you found me now. Yeah, I was a couple of minutes late. Shh, don't tell anybody else. Mrs. Wood has arrived. Gillian with a J has arrived. We'll just let a few more of you come in. Thanks for the prompt, George. We'll just let a couple more people find us, and then we'll get stuck in, as we always do, to our circulation booster. Is that about it? Has everyone finished saying hello? Oh, the Jill, Chris and Jill combo are just saying hello amongst themselves. Apparently, Margaret, there's been a bit of snow outside, but from the room that we're in, I can't see the outside. Apparently, we've got a sprinkling, a dusting of snow in Gateshead. It was raining this morning, horrid. Right, shall we? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon and welcome. It's 12 noon, just gone. You're with me, Kelsey Leverton from Later Life Training, and I am broadcasting today from Gateshead Leisure Centre, teaching some strength and balance exercises to a great bunch of people, instructors, physios, occupational therapists, and they're developing a pathway for exercise for people who are at risk of falls. So there we go. We're going to do what we normally do, is a little bit of circulation boosting. Let's go. Let's set up before we set off. External support, if you're in standing, is useful here. I've got a wall. You might have something different, but as long as it's firm and sturdy, then all is well. Standing tall through your legs, up through your trunk and shoulders, back and down. And then we can start with some foot pedals. Now, if you're choosing to move all the way through this movement snack from seated, or if you're choosing just to start in seated, take a few hip walks forwards. Sit up tall. We're trying to get away from sinking down onto the tailbone here. So we're pulling up the rib cage, sitting high onto your bum bones, your sit bones, and we've got some foot pedals on the end of our legs. Right, start to pick up the feet a little bit. We can progress our foot pedals into leg marches, but we could always backtrack as well. So see how your hips feel, see how your body feels, and revert back to the foot pedals if you like. Upper body needs a bit of action, doesn't it now? So bend at the elbow. You can bring one arm in at a time, holding onto your side of your seat or your external support in standing, if that makes you feel steadier and more comfortable. Or you can bring both arms in together. Just going to do a bit from each and every option here. So picking up the knees, we've got opposite arm to leg marches going on here with a bent elbow that drives back. And this is to maximise what we can achieve from the shoulder area. I remember the shoulder's quite a complexy joint, isn't it? It's got lots of muscles crisscrossing around it, from the arm, around the shoulder, the upper back, the chest area. So all of those muscles are involved in and around the shoulder action that we're doing. Boosting your body temperature, loosening off our joints, so the fluid within our joints that keeps it lubricated and helps it to move a bit more freely is loosening up through the warming that's going on as well. Right, that should do us. Steady yourself down. Take a bit of a pause. You might want to crowbar in a couple of shoulder rolls just to encourage posture to be open and shoulders to be back and down. Right, here we are with a little bit of heel raising, calf strengthening type action. Now in seated, it's a little bit different. In standing, of course, we've got our heads, shoulders, hips, all over the legs, and we're lifting our body weight. Here's what it looks like. Take up some support. Stand tall so you're not hunching over your support. All of the weight's through the legs there, and you're going to come up. Take a few counts to build into the highest heel lift you can possibly be in, and then really put the brakes on the way down. Coming down, landing softly with the heel. Now, key point here to this particular action is where your weight is distributed through your feet. Get it over your big toe and the one next door to it, and that will keep your ankles in a strong position there. Now in seated, we can have the feet as we normally do, ankles underneath, and we can lift up from there. You might feel a little bit of something going on, but we've certainly not got the load over the legs like we have in standing. So you might want to just do a few of those. Coming up onto the ball of the foot there. If you want to add a little bit more load, you can tuck the feet back, and you could bring yourself into a tilted forwards position. If comfortable, you could rest your elbows onto your knees, and at the same time push your elbows down into your thighs. So now you've got a little bit of something to work against. Heel raising action. We do this when we're coming up and wanting to make ourselves a bit taller. It extends our reach position into higher places. It strengthens around the calf and the lower part of the calf muscle. It conditions our ankles as well. And you've got those two options to choose from. You might want to mix and match it. You might want to do a few from seated and then do a few from standing. Hopefully your calf muscles are feeling the effects there now. They start to feel a bit tired. The muscles are working, squeezing, and just loading up a little bit there. A couple more in standing for me, I think. Now, if you would like to, in standing, put a little bit of a reach in this. This may challenge balance a little bit, so keep hold of one hand onto your external support, lift the heels, and then see if you can reach upwards. So you're getting a little bit of a longer line through your body, through your legs, through the trunk. Now, you might have something external support by the side of you. You might have that in front of you, And if you've got it in front of you, you might just want to work your arm up the wall through a few finger walks, which is of course giving us a little bit of finger and hand movement too. In seated, take that all the way through the trunk, reaching up. You can come into the heel raise if you like, or you can just really focus on that lifting, extending movement through the trunk and through the arm. If you want to put a couple more shoulder rolls in to prepare the shoulders a bit more, or work your way through that stretch that we do in the 4 p.m, then you've got that option to choose from as well. So as we lift the elbow, we lift through the trunk, and then we can come into a heel raise and an extra reach from there. Reaching upwards, one hand or both hands is always useful to get that over the head reach in action. Drawing curtains, maybe pegging stuff on the washing line, maybe putting items away into cupboards, onto shelves, stretching up to dust the corners of the room, if you can be bothered. Right, we've done quite a lot of heel raises there now, and if you want to put a few extra reaches in without the heel raise, then you can do as well. Or even in seated, a guided reach with one hand assisting the stiffer side or the weakened side, if you notice a difference there. All right, people, where shall we go next? Shall we do a few knee bends, jockey lifts, sit to stands? Up to you. You can do a bit of all three or just focus on one particular. So hip walked position towards the front portion of the chair will give you a bit more success. Feet tucked back and feet level if you want to work your legs evenly. If you want to go into a split position with the feet, remember you'll be working one side more than the other. I'll leave it with you. Here's a jockey lift, a little boost. You might want to start off with a squeeze of your buttocks and a slight tilted forwards position there. Squeeze, sits taller, a tilt, pressing the feet, digging, pushing the feet into the floor, firing up all these muscles in the thigh, and a little boost with assistance with your hands or not. Oh, I've just done a sit to stand. So you might want to power up and stand here. You might want to sit straight down, or alternatively come into some multi-depth knee bends. Start small, go a bit lower. Just a couple of checks to do on yourself here. Have a look down. Try and make sure your knees aren't rolling in towards each other. Try and keep your buttocks working to keep the legs apart. As you glance down, you should be able to see your trainers. You should be able to see your shoes, the toes on your shoes, and even the shoelaces. Remember, you can hold on to your external support, whether that's in front of you or to the side of you. Now, if you want to bring in a small hold and hover, you can do a hold and a hover before a lift and a straighten up, or a hold and a hover just before you lower back down into seated. You might have to hip walk forwards a bit. So you've got loads of combinations there. I'm going to do another hold and a hover before I sit down. Push, push, push the bum back. Come down, grasp the side of your chair or the arms of your chair, hold and hover, then let your muscles get you back down. Soft landing, bit of a hip walk to repeat again. All right, the last move we're going to have a look at is one that you can do with a tea towel or a cushion or just anything. what have I got? I've got this, look, my jumper that can be placed between one's knees. I'm going to go back a bit. Ankle strengthening, just a bit of extra work around turning the ankles out and bringing the ankles in. And this is where we'll finish for today. So knees, just lightly gripping the whatever it is you've got between your knees. Toes are turned in, and we're going to take a sweeping, brushing action. We've done this a few times before, out to the side. And then you can pick the feet up.
Sorry, just get some.
And then I'm just doing a Facebook Live chat. And then, oh my God, I've just gone like that to him. How rude am I? Here we go. I'll have to go and apologise in a minute, won't I? Sweeping the feet back in and picking the toes back up. Now the ankles have already had a bit of work, so you might not be able to do quite as many of these because of those heel raises that we've been doing. And bring yourself back to base, put your cushion back where it's supposed to be, and we're all done for today. I can't believe I just did that. I went like that. Oh dear. Never mind, I'm going to have to apologise to that lovely young man in a moment and say sorry for being rude. Okay, everyone. Nothing more to see here apart from me apologising to that young chap. But thank you for joining me on this movement snack. Hope you enjoyed that good leg work. You did, George. Thank you. Enjoy the afternoon, what you've got. Stay warm. Keep moving. And yeah, I'm going to find that young gentleman now and say sorry. Have a good afternoon, everyone. Bex will see you at 4.